Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the CDL podcast channel. In this episode today, you know what we're doing. We're talking about the major. Going to talk about ranked play stuff as we got finally a little bit more news on that months and months later into the game. And then we're going to do kind of a ranking, power ranking of teams we think are going to make a change or are not going to make a change after the majors. You know, that's kind of the time. Roster changes are probably already made behind the scenes that we don't know about yet. But if you guys enjoy this one, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. If you're on the audio platforms, drop a follow, drop a 5-star review. We had an absolute banger of a tournament this weekend. A
Yep.
really good tournament. Lots of crazy outcomes. The team that won, I honestly thought wasn't even going to be in the finals because they basically looked like they were dead to rights, and then they clutched up and somehow made it into the finals. But we're gonna do what we usually do. I have it on the screen for those of you that are watching on video form. Obviously, they have the prize pool, the prize placings for the major, and they obviously only have the top 8 teams because anybody that finished in the bottom 4 and got eliminated right away did not make any prize pool money. I don't know if I'm tripping. I mean, this has the points they earned. I don't know if I'm tripping, but did first place prize, like, did the prize pool for the CDL get even smaller again this year? They only won 150K for first. I feel like they
Seems a
used to win
little,
like at least 200.
yeah,
That does seem low.
budget cuts.
Yeah, even more budget cuts. But I swear
Yep.
they used to win at least 200, like 50K a player. I
You,
mean, it's obviously
yeah,
not bad
you're
for a
wrong.
weekend's work. They still get 30-something thousand plus dollars. Like, it's not like it's a
True.
bad weekend for the players. But I just noticed the 150K, and I for some reason I didn't notice that in the image before, and I was like, wait, that seems like it's
A little
down.
lower.
Honestly, take the 15K away total from the teams that get top 8 and just like add it to first place. Add that 15K to first. You don't deserve money if you get top 8. That's not, you won one match.
Yeah.
But we're
Some
gonna
teams won
do,
2
yeah.
almost.
We're gonna go into teams probably from like teams that finished last up to our eventual champion, because I mean the lower teams, honestly the lower teams sometimes take more time because there's a lot more like controversy and drama and like what are you gonna do with them and what went wrong, as opposed to like a team like Gentlemates. Obviously you can talk about like the crazy moments they had just to win the tournament. Um, but we kind of talked about it. It could be one of the most open majors, in CDL history. It seemed like it, and then arguably, I would say who our favorite was going into the tournament ended up winning it, which is kind of funny. Um,
Yeah.
but I got the stats up here. I'm kind of gonna. This is probably what I'm gonna display on the screen, and then we can kind of just like talk about their weekend because there's just so many matches for some of these teams to go through. So I'm just gonna have like the team's overall stats for the major on the screen for you guys that are uh, watching in video form. So first team up, I feel like they're a good team to start with because I would say they're probably the most shocking team. Them or Ravens to finish last place. I'd say Toronto. You can make an argument for Ravens, obviously, because of how good they looked online and the fact that they lost to Surge. But Toronto, definitely a surprising result that they finished top 12. It wasn't. I think we all mentioned that there was a world where that happens, obviously, because they played Gentlemates and they had to play Miami. So we all knew that that was a tough road and like they very easily could finish last. But still shocking to see a team of this caliber get last place. And I mean, if you're looking at the screen right now, like pretty clear discrepancy in the team here. Uh, Joe Deceives with a 1.19, Kleenex with a 0.91, Insight with a 0.85, and Real with a 0.72. I believe Real was dead last in the tournament for KD. And it was just overall, it was a rough one. Rough one for the side of Koi. They lose to Gentlemates 3-1, and then they drop down and lose a game 5 to Miami. Talking about the match against Gentlemates, they lose the map 1, bounce back in the search, and then lose the final 2 maps. And again, it was kind of Joe, and Kleenex was kind of there dealing damage and stuff. But other than that, like Real, really rough series. 58 and 90 overall on this series, lowest damage in the lobby. And Insight now with a great series as well. I give them a little bit more of a pass for that series just because they're playing the eventual champs. Like that one, I didn't necessarily expect them to win, but like I need to see more out of Real. Like it was just a bad weekend from him overall.
Yeah, it definitely was. Underperforming, underwhelming for this team with these type of players they have on the team.
Yeah, I agree, Brad.
Real just doesn't look like he fits. either he's just not comfortable. Yeah, honestly, it might be a combination of just he's not comfortable on a team. Maybe he's not comfortable, and that could lead him to be not being comfortable in the game. Um, I don't. Yeah, I don't know what's exactly going on here, but this is obviously disappointing for them. They expect to be. I mean, they probably expect themselves to be a top 4 team in the league, and it just doesn't look right now. And I don't know what the fix is.
think I think the fix for me is I know the first solution. Like you could obviously make an argument like a roster change has to be on the table. They went what 3-4 in the online qualifiers, and they get top 12 at the majors. So like a roster change has to be a potential conversation. I'm not saying it has to happen because they're obviously. I mean, these are 4 talented players. A
Mhm.
roster change isn't. It's not like this is a situation of like Cloud9 where it's like you got to make a change. But you can make an argument that there's a change. I think maybe what I would do is obviously if they don't want to spend the money, because I'm sure these aren't cheap contracts. Like I think all these players are probably on decent contracts, maybe nothing crazy for some of them, but I'm sure they're all getting paid pretty well. And maybe if they don't want to, make the investment into making a change, if there's not potential better option out there, maybe we'll see who gets dropped from other teams if they could be a good option for them. But I think the fix is it's a pacing issue. I think you got to flip Real and Kleenex's role. That's the
Okay.
solution for me. I think Kleenex, he's historically one of the fastest subs we have in the league. And we said like, oh, we could see a world where Kleenex. I think Kleenex still could be a good flex, like because I just think he's a really good player. I think he can play any role. I just think we always talk about it like what is it seems like you can find a solid starting caliber main AR. They're kind of a dime a dozen. Like they're not as I mean, like not talking superstar, but like a serviceable one. Seems like they're not that terribly
Yeah.
hard to find. But finding elite subs is hard. Like it's probably the main reason why we have a lot of years. It's like, oh, that team they just can't beat the top teams. It's mostly because they just don't have the sub talent. Like because the
Mhm.
subs are really the ones making the plays. And Kleenex is one of those few subs that can be elite and can make the plays, and they have him stuck on an AR. And Real is a good player and he's a good sub player, but he's slower compared to
Yep.
Kleenex. I think like Joe can really move. I think Kleenex can really move. I would like to see Joe and Kleenex back on the sub. Try Real and flex because I do think Real can he's a little bit of a slower sub at times, but I think he could fit into a flex role really well. And Kleenex even tweeted that he was like super uncomfortable on the map all weekend. I just think maybe he doesn't he just wants to go. I don't think the flex role really
Yeah.
fits in as much right now.
Not to
Um,
fly,
yeah,
especially in this game.
I don't know if you guys agree, disagree with that, but I think that if they don't want to make a roster change, which I don't think they really should. I think they should try the Kleenex Real flip first for at least a few matches, and if that doesn't work, then maybe you can look at a roster change. But that's what I would do for this team: flip those 2 roles.
Yeah, I do. I like that.
Yeah,
Like
I'm
that
with you.
idea.
Because even if these guys were on separate teams, like if you were asking me who do I want to build my team around as a sub player, I'm taking Kleenex 100 out of 100 times over Real. Like Real's a good player, but Kleenex is just a better player, a different level. Tons of
Yeah.
tournament finals. I mean, multiple tournament wins. Um, just a super impactful player. I just think he's a better player overall than Real. So I like the chance to maybe flip him. And also, again, we're always talking about you got to have an elite SMG duo to win tournaments. And when they're on point, a Kleenex and Joe SMG duo could potentially they could beat anybody. If they're on point. Those two
Mhm.
together as an SMG duo could beat anybody.
100%.
But I'd say, I mean, general thoughts on that. Overall disappointing, and it was really disappointing. You're a Koi fan. See what Real
It
did in the
was.
match against his old team, a .78, and it was really like the tail end of the series where he struggled because he had a good map one in that series. He was 32 and 26, had a nice map one. They got the win on the board, and then he goes 2-9, and then he even bounces back. Overload 23 and 21, but the map four, 18 and 36 into a 3-8 performance in the map
Of a
five.
leg.
Uh, and they
Those
Love to
won.
see
stickers
it.
to round out. They did.
Yeah, they won that map four when he was 18 and 36. So that kind of felt like oh my god, he got bailed out. Like he got bailed out there. Then they can win game five. But he not only did they lose game five, but he also struggled in the game five.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just
Man.
rough weekend for Real. Again, I
It
don't think it
was.
reflects the player that he is overall because I do think he's still a good player. Just a tough weekend for him.
I'm sure he'll definitely bounce back.
Yeah,
That's for
and
sure.
I do think the flex role can suit him. So we'll see what they do with that. I'm gonna switch it over here to
Joe's so
um,
good.
he's so good. I'm gonna switch it over here to the Carolina Royal Ravens.
Onliners,
Man,
EK.
onliners, man. Lurks with a 1.08. I think he's pretty clear. We talked about it last week before the tournament, but I think he's pretty clear in a way, like their shining star. I still like again, Craze had a 0.86 here. I still have all the faith in the world in Craze. I think he's a really good player.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Lurks is their shining star. He continues. He played really well in lane. He continues to be just a really good player for them. I still like Craze. Exceed kind of had a tough one. Nero had a tough one, and yeah, it's a bad look because like I can excuse a 3-0 loss to Thieves because again, those players on Thieves, veterans, really good players. Like you can excuse a loss to that team, but man, like getting beat by the Surge, like who had 4 map wins coming into the tournament, that's tough. And they didn't
Not a
even.
good
It
look.
wasn't even a 3-2. Yeah, it is. I mean, I'm gonna pull up the stats in that Thieves match because that was an absolute like. After that match, I was like, I feel kind of good in my Thieves pick. Like they might win the tournament. Obviously, that didn't pan out,
That
but
was
Thieves, like, I mean, that match was
that
just an
was
absolute
no,
stomping, like across the board. I
it
mean,
wasn't
like,
it wasn't even close.
yeah, Hydra 1.42, Kenny 1.2, a BZ 1.25, Scrap 1.02, a red carpet on the side of Carolina, just dominant. I remember that overload. They scored the ball 4 times, like instantly. The half was over in like 2 minutes on the first half. And Carolina just gets rolled out, and I'm like, okay, like got a chance to bounce back against Surge. At least he got that, and then Surge bounces him out of the tournament. 3-1. Just yikes. Online, do you think they're okay? You think they're gonna bounce back, Brad? Online, you think they're actually gonna have a good split, or is this just gonna carry some like weird energy and weird momentum online, where they're just gonna kind of settle back to like a bottom mid pack team?
I think they'll figure it back out online. I do think that I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Like, just it seems like they lack experience. Obviously, Nero has never really had much success as far as LAN. Obviously, Craze and Lurks. This is their first LAN experience, and Exceed. He's a seasoned veteran, but I don't know. I think that coming into this, you kind of knew. I mean, maybe the team vibes could be weird, but like Nero, you knew what you're gonna get coming into the year with him. You know, he's either gonna be crazy where he's tweaking, or he's gonna be, this Nero that we got this weekend, which is unfortunate. But I mean, you had to see it coming. Like Nero's so up and down. I don't know. I think they'll be fine on land. Maybe not
Online.
fourth, but probably, huh?
Online.
Yeah, online. Yeah,
Okay.
online. I think they're gonna be like a mid pack.
I don't know. I think I agree they could be fine. Like I mean, I have faith in them to potentially bounce back, but I kind of also think like they could have had a little honeymoon period online, and that could potentially be over. Like I don't think they're just gonna like fall into losing every match, but I also don't know. I don't see like a 5-2 type of split from them again. Um, they beat some like good. The thing is that's like weird to like say is their 5-game win streak was against Miami, G2, Koi, OpTic, and Thieves, and like again those are like some good teams in there, but like
Hmm.
OpTic was struggling at the time they beat them. Thieves, we all kind of know, like they kind of said they were lagging. They just seemed trolly that series. Toronto was kind of in a funk at the time. G2, it was early when they hadn't really like done anything, and Miami was the 3rd match of the year when they were kind of struggling. Like they beat some teams that we think are good, but like they beat them all in a weird time.
You
And
know, when
again,
they're a little bit struggling.
yeah, I think they can bounce back. Don't get me wrong. I don't think they're just going to turn into like a terrible team now that they had this result. But I don't know. They also seem like the classic couple teams we have every year that peaks really early, and we're like, oh my god, are they legit? And then they just kind of fizzle out.
Yeah.
Bad Burger King.
Yeah, it
I mean,
kind
I
of seems
definitely
like
don't see
that.
them winning 5. And yeah,
Well, they might display because you got
5 wins
the
in the
11
Allen
match thing,
qualifiers.
but
Oh yeah, that's the
Yeah.
one.
Imagine
that
they
major
miss
game.
Major 2.
That's
They
right. That is
could.
this major, yeah, where two team. Well, I think technically only 8 teams travel, but like there's like that little play-in tournament. See if they have
Mhm.
the bracket up.
Hmm.
Yeah, they have the bracket up, the little play-in thing. So it's 8 teams and winners. Oh, that's right. That okay. This is something I really like about this tournament. There are no teams starting losers at this tournament.
Also,
It's
okay,
kind of like
double
a.
in.
So you have
Like a double elim kind of thing.
yeah, it's like a classic old school tournament with double. It's like champs, the 8-team champs bracket.
That's
It's like the
nice.
same thing as that. So there's two teams like playing in basically like I think it's like 7 and 8 or no 7 and 10 play each other and like 8 and 9 play each other in the online qualifiers and they both like they get the last two spots and then only 8 teams travel to the major. I believe is how it is. I don't know if the play-in happens on land. That would suck. Your play-in tournament, kind of like
All the
lose
way
your round
there.
one, travel all the way there, play-in tournament, lose, travel back because this is the event in the UK.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't know. Kind of back to the Ravens. I'm just kind of like, it was fun while it lasted. I mean, what was the highest any of us had him placing? I think we all kind of clocked this a little bit. I think I had him top 8.
Yeah, I didn't have him that high up there.
Right, you must have had him top 8 because you had Miami beating him, right?
Yeah. Yep. Top 8.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I think I gave him a
filled this
win,
out.
win and loss. Yeah.
I feel like everybody gave him a win against Vancouver for the most part, and
Mhm.
then
Yeah.
had him losing
I
to.
guess I have 3-0 for that one.
I actually feel like they were kind of. If you had them losing to Thieves, I feel like you kind of like everybody had them placing top 8. If you had them losing to Thieves, because
Yeah.
they kind of fell down and they were playing Miami and Toronto, like one of the two. And I think we all kind of figured Miami or Toronto, whoever moved down, would beat them. Funny enough, unless like I saw plenty of brackets where people were like, "Oh my God, Carolina is going to beat Thieves, beat Gentlemates, like make it to winners finals." And I couldn't believe how many brackets I saw like that because I was like, "You really have faith like in this Carolina team to do that on land?" I don't know. I hope they bounce back though because they are a fun team to watch when they're playing well. The Boston Breach. Again, not really a surprising result
Boston.
here. Red carpets across the board for their one series. I don't even really want to spend that much time on them. It's the same thing every time. They got 3-1 by FaZe. Nobody's shocked. Their one win was a round 11 in search. Draza and Simp just kind of styled on them, and it's just the story of Boston. Like, I just don't think they
Every
have.
year.
I don't think they have the, ability to consistently compete. Like they're sure on the exact right day, maybe they upset a team like FaZe, but I just don't think they have the ability to just constantly go up against these teams like a FaZe and just repeatedly like they just can't go on like a tournament run to win because I just can't see them unless they get the luckiest bracket of all time. I just can't see them beating like a FaZe into an OpTic, into a Thieves, into a Gentleman. It's like I just can't see that.
Yeah, they just don't have the firepower.
Yeah, I'm kind of out on
And
them.
I doubt that. And I doubt they make a change.
Yeah, I kind of have them in the. I mean, absolutely they should, but I kind of doubt they do.
Yeah.
Cloud9, again, kind of in the same boat for me as Boston. They need to make a change. I doubt they do. They get 3-1 by Falcons. Afro had a 1.02. Mac had a 0.91. Beans and Vivid really struggled in the one series. I don't know. I know Mac didn't maybe have the best overall numbers KD wise, on the team here, but I think Mac, if I'm going to keep one player, he's probably the player I keep. I still think he's looked the best eye test wise this year. But this team again, it's chalked until they make a roster change to give us something new to look at. Like they're just not sure they make series close and can they win every once in a while? Yeah, but like they're not a threat to do anything. Thoughts on them?
This is like that old veteran squad of just patches that they try to fill in, and I don't know. I mean, obviously, if you can scrap the whole thing, do it. But like, they're not going to because they're probably not going to pay. If I had to guess, so like in that case, like, do you drop like both your ARs and try to find somebody and try to fill that with like younger talent? Because like Afro and Mac have been serviceable. Like you said, I agree. Mac is probably the best player on this team right now, even though he did struggle this weekend. I mean, like, even if you were to keep Beans, like Beans is serviceable too. He doesn't move the needle per se. Like he can have a really good S&D map, like we've seen. But like he's not the greatest respawn. I think Vivid's got to go for sure. If they're gonna make a roster move, I think it's Vivid. That's gonna be first gone, and then I mean second, I'd say Beans. But yeah, this team just, I mean, are they gonna make a move? Who knows? Probably not. But like, I mean, try to at least become more competitive. You know, take a risk on some young guys, and if they pan out, wonderful. Like look at Lurks; it's kind of like a diamond in a bunch of ashes. You know what I'm saying? So like, try to find at least somebody.
I don't know, it's kind of funny. Like you look at like I wanted to mention like it's so sad that we for back to back teams now we're like yeah they definitely need to make a change. They know it, we know it, the whole community knows it, but because of money they're not going to. And you have teams like Bush, the Barstool Boys sitting in challengers who would like kill to be in the league. It would make every
Yeah.
move possible to win. You have teams like Omid who's been in challengers forever who would kill to make a good team and pay for it. You have even like people like Zuma with the Stallions. Obviously, I don't know he would want to own a team and pay all that money out, but like if he got investors and financial backing, like he would do everything he could to make team changes and make a good team. It's just so sad that like I think I heard like OpTic did a podcast with the Barstool Boys that are running the Bush team, and they were like, yeah, we basically have heard from a lot of people like in the league that there are 3 teams that just like want out fully. And I mean, like
What?
I mean that's been a thing for a while. Like I'm sure, like if I had to take a guess, like I think Surge, Carolina, probably a team like G2. I guess G2 just bought in. Maybe like I don't know. Like obviously, I think like OpTic, Gentlemates, like Koi, Thieves, FaZe, like those teams want to be in. Falcons, G2 since they just bought in. I feel like Miami. I do think it's like Vancouver, Carolina, Boston.
Boston.
I would say Cloud9, but I don't even know if it's them because they just got in too. So I feel like they wouldn't have, in their experience in esports,
Yeah.
like they've been in esports for a long time. Like I feel like it probably isn't a Cloud9, but I don't know. Like I feel like it's like Boston, Vancouver, Carolina. I mean, did you see the Carolina post today?
No.
Brian Saint was like
No.
taking a step away. Obviously, he's like their coach and their GM. He's like taking a step away from like Twitter. He said it's just been too toxic for him and stuff. He was like, yeah, I've been having to run socials too. They're making him be the GM, like sign player deals, be the coach, run their socials, just because they don't want to pay anything.
That's
Like
crazy.
they don't do content. He's running their socials, like doing all that stuff while coaching, while being the GM, while signing contracts, while trying to make deals for them. And it's like, dude, like you're not even trying.
Come on.
You're not even putting any money in. You're not even trying. Like you might as well just chalk Carolina up basically because they're probably not going to put any financial backing into it apart from picking up Exceed because they had to because Slasher retired.
Yeah.
Like let's not act like they made a roster change because they wanted to. They literally had a player retire, so they had to. Like
They're probably so tight when you did. I'm
yeah,
just kidding.
Yeah.
yeah. Probably no. You're not. You're probably not wrong. They're
No, they
probably pissed when
probably
he
were.
retired. Probably, we had to pay another contract. They probably had guarantees on Slasher's contract, so he probably got paid out, and then they had to sign a new one. They're probably so
Yeah.
pissed. And it's like, why do we even have teams like? Why do we have teams like that in the league? Like, it just makes the
Yeah.
league so much worse knowing that like Boston, Cloud9, and Vancouver are probably like not going to make any more changes this year, and Carolina, like they're not going to make like any changes, and we're just going to sit here and watch them all suck. Like,
Mhm.
because like I was gonna say about challengers though, it's like our top 2 teams, obviously the Saudi team with Kicks and Dahum, and then the 2 other players, like they
Raid.
win. Yeah. I kind of doubt that they're picking anybody up from that team, like Cloud9. And then you even look at like the team that finished second, the Barstool Boys, like that's just a bunch of former pros, Pro, Luke, Capsital, Spart,
Yep.
and Fire. Like, I don't know, does this team pick up like Spart for Vivid or and then try to pick up like Capsital for Afro, something like that. But again, like you're just recycling pros that didn't really do much. So it's like, does that really change?
Really move
But
the needle.
Right.
it's kind of the issue with a lot of
Pro.
challenges. You got to find some guy who's maybe not on a great team and is getting top 8s or something and just be like, he's super talented. Let's take a shot because like these former pros are just smart and know how to play the game. So they're just constantly finishing, top 3, top 2, top 1. And it's just like you're just recycling them in and out and they're just more glue guys. So I don't know. But this team's got to make a change. I don't
Yeah.
care. Nobody's safe, but if I had to pick one, Mac.
Yeah. Go find some newer challenger players and coach them up or something.
Yeah. But again, some money. I don't know if they're going to do it. We'll move on to our top 8 teams. First one, Surge, who fall. Obviously, they beat Ravens and they fall 3-0 to the Miami Heretics to fall out top 8.
They
Lunars.
won one.
What an event from Lunars. He finishes with the number 1 KD. Obviously, only across 2 series, but he finishes with the number 1 KD, and he was cooking. The whole weekend, he looked
Yes,
really
he
good.
was.
He was frying. TJ overall, I mean, a 0.99 from TJ, that's about like if TJ gives you a 0.99, that's about what he's there to do. Like, be a really solid player. He had a 1.1 in the first series. Lunar's 113 and 73 in 4 maps against the Carolina
Ooh,
Royal
damn.
Ravens. TJ with 101 and 92. Abe had a little bit of a struggle, then he had a 0.74 in that series. And then, where is it? In the match against Miami, here it is. Trying to pull it up. They get 3-0'd. Lunar's had a 0.98 in that series. Abe another 0.7. TJ and Gwyn both with 0.83s. Abe, another struggle event, and I heard Zuma talking about it. Like, he's like, I do think Abe's a really good player. I just think he's just in a terrible spot. Kind of agree with that. Like, I don't know that he's like super good, but I do think he's still like a talented player. I just think he's in a really bad spot, and unfortunately, it might tank his stock for his career because he's just going to lose every match in this team, and people are just going to be like, yeah, he's just not good. It's unfortunate for him because I do think he's a pretty talented player. And he got top 20.
I mean, hopefully that's changing. Yeah, hopefully that's changing. Like, because we saw, well, Lunars on the same team, but like we saw like Lunars who was coming in as a talented player, and then he hit the struggle bus. You know, not he didn't look great. The team was obviously atrocious, but then he got another shot. Mind you, it is with this team, but hopefully that's changing. Hopefully it's not just like you get one little stint and then you're done. But that would suck if it's just tanks his rest of his career.
Unfortunately, we see a lot of things like that happen. You just get like one stint that leaves a bad taste in people's mouth, and you're just kind of done.
Yeah.
Yeah, just look like what Neptune for a couple years after that subliner team.
I mean, a guy who just finished second in challengers, Fire 40 is like a perfect example. Like, he was super touted. Hecz was always gassing him up. He was supposed to be like one of the next up players. He goes to the Legion and just has a really, really bad little stint. And like, he just has never been able to get back in the league. But also, like, you kind of see him and like, his name is always popping up in challengers. Is like, oh, he got another top 3. Oh, he won this cup. Oh, he got a second here. He got a second this weekend. Like, obviously, like, there's something there where he's a pretty good player, but he just has this like stigma on his name, you know, from just the time that he struggled. I mean, I think of a guy like Venom. Remember Venom when he went to LAT? He was like super hyped up. He just had like a not great split, and we never hear from him again. Like, there are a lot of like random players who just take the wrong deal, get on a bad team. I thought it might happen with our boy Joe. Like, he got on a bad LAG team and they just couldn't win a match, and it was like, I can see that the guy's really like, I can see that he's really talented, but like, is he ever gonna get another shot? Because like, they just lose every match, so people just write him off. Again though, like, my call up for this team is like, I gotta see more from Gwyn. I saw like that report come out that like Gwyn kind of just like is there. He just like exists. Like, he kind of just like shows up for practice, goes through the motions, like doesn't really do anything with the team out of game, doesn't really do anything like progress. And I'm like, again, like, it's just a report. I don't know how true it is, but like, I mean, if that's the case, like, he hasn't done anything that's earned the right to just kind of go through the motions. Like, he hasn't really ever advanced far in any tournaments. He showed like some skill and some like talent, but I don't know. Like, I when I look at this team, like, I see like Lunar's, like, he's Manear, he's gonna play his role. I see Abe. I do think he's more of like a 0.95 kind of dirty work type of sub. TJ's that 1.0, just S&D. He's gonna be his special, like, gonna be a solid respawn player. Gwyn's the guy that's supposed to be their star. And you know, he did not cut it this weekend doing that.
I wonder, like, if they'll ever like have Gwyn go back to like a sub.
Yeah, I don't know. He like uses it, but it's just like, what is he at on the year? And what do you think Gwyn's at? This is all stats across the board, online in the major. What do you think Gwyn's at for his KD?
0.97.
He's like 0.93.
Rock is closer, and you're both over. A 0.9 on the dot. He is in 44th, ahead of Beans, Vivid, Abe, Purge, Slasher, and Legend.
It's not gonna cut it.
Yeah, so
No.
the bottom 2 are out of the league / retired, and then he's above Beans, Vivid, Abe, and Purge. So his teammate Abe, Purge, who's really struggling to respawn this year, and then Beans and Vivid, who, I mean, that team obviously just can't get a win either. So not great from a guy like Gwyn, who the other thing about those guys is like Beans usually has a decent stat line, but like, an AR, Vivid, kind of a dirty work player. Abe, same thing. Purge, same thing. Like the difference between all those guys is Gwyn's supposed to be a Slayer. Like
Yep.
he's supposed to be a star. So like him
Yeah.
being down there is just like, yeah, that's a yikes. It's just not what you expect from him at all. So need to see more.
Needs to pick it up.
Yeah, our other top 8 team, this one probably a lot more disappointed to be finishing in 8th as opposed to the side of Vancouver, who are like, wow, we won a match. The Riyadh
True.
Falcons, Brad, you had them in the finals.
Yeah.
Was it the lowest finish of a team any of us had in the finals? Thieves got top 6 for me, obviously. Brock, you had Gentlemates face. They were both.
Yeah.
Are you at Gentlemates Thieves? Did you have a finals actually?
I think it was Thieves. I think, yeah, Thieves.
But yours got
Thieves and
top
winners,
6.
though.
Yeah. So yours was top 6.
So that was
Brad.
tough.
I was kind of surprised, Brad, when you picked
Yeah.
Falcons to go to the finals. I mean, there's some names in the roster that are, good players, but
Right.
obviously they kind of got steamrolled by OpTic in that first series.
Yes, they did.
And then they fall down to the losers. They handle Cloud9, which, I mean, again, they should expected. It's not something, super impressive by any means there. Here. And then they go on to lose 3-2 to FaZe in a close match. But man, like Pred and Selim again had the best numbers in the team. Selim with a 1.04. I feel like it's got to be Selim's lowest KD at event in a while.
Yeah. Sounds like it's got to be.
Yeah.
He like always has a 1.1.
Yeah.
It's crazy like seeing the matches we have coming up. I was just like trying to get to like the matches again. We have 3 matches each Friday and 4 matches on Saturday and Sunday for this coming split. Just because there's so many matches they have to get through. But yeah, I'm trying to pull up that Falcons FaZe match. I want to see something in there. Yeah, Booza that's what I thought. Yeah, Booza had the 1.39. Selim was at a 1.0. Everybody else in the red, in the negative. I don't know. I saw some stuff from Falcons though. Exit had some moments where he looked really good. I still think this team, like I stand by kind of what I thought about them all year. Like I think their ceiling is potentially limited. I just don't know that like they can put together enough really good matches in a row to win a tournament. I think they can make a run because I mean at the end of the day, they do have Pred, Cell, and Kismet. Like these are world champs. They could do, they could surprise us and do whatever. I just kind of think like they're a little tapped out in terms of their potential. Like I don't know that I can see them making a full run to win a tournament.
Yeah. I could see them making Sunday.
Yeah. Again, I think
But
like
that's
a
kind of a
roster
miracle
change.
run.
I think a roster change might be needed to like hit the absolute top. I just like I don't know. I just feel like their pacing is just a little bit weird and slow sometimes, and I just don't know that like if they want to win this year, I don't know that Exton's ready to win right now. I think he's developing, and I think he's good. I just don't know that he's ready to win right now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they're a solid team. I'm excited to watch them because I do think they're going to pull off a lot of upsets this year, and they're talented. I just don't know if they're ready right now. I don't have too much else to say about them.
Yeah, I agree. Unless like Pred and Selim are like going absolute crazy during the run.
Yeah, they would have to be going nuclear. Brad, top 6. It's your boys, then my boys. Miami falls out. Obviously, anybody looking at the stats here, Rencor had a really, really nice event. Super numbers wise.
So good.
As a good event. Trakes at a 0.91. I honestly thought he had some pretty good moments, though. Overall, I didn't think he looked bad in this event. And Metals with a 0.88. Again, that's like I expect Metals to be in that 0.9 range. Like, again, I don't think he performed up to his standard that he's been online up to this point. But I do think, Metals has been overall pretty good this year. But I don't think, like, a 0.9 for Trakes, I don't think tells the whole story. I do think he was pretty solid on the weekend. But Rencor continues to be an absolute stud for this team. I still think Super's a good player. He's just so slow sometimes.
Not wrong.
But Miami, I feel like overall, like if you were to tell me coming into this weekend, they'd get a top 6, I wouldn't be too disappointed in that if I was a Miami fan. Like they started in losers, that means they won 2 matches. like wasn't the worst weekend. I do think it's a little bit disappointing that they lost to G2 for them though, because like you had a
Yes.
chance to make it to Sunday, and again G2 had a great weekend. G2 are a solid team, but like you kind of figured you'd be playing, Royal Ravens, who is hot there, or an OpTic, a Thieves, a Gentlemates, like one of those kind of teams, a FaZe. Like you figured you'd be running into one of those teams. Not, and instead you run into a G2 team who you don't consider, one of those top dogs. So you kind of get blessed with a potential chance to make it to a Sunday, and obviously they fall short 3-0 there. But Brad, thoughts on your boys?
I mean, Rancor, best they are in the game, undisputed. Can't change my mind. Rancor is freaking insane. Super, super, super. I don't want to bash him, but like, I mean, he should pick up the pace a little bit, but it is what it is at this point. Metals and Trakes. Metals had that 16 kill S&D against what that was against Surge, wasn't it?
I believe, 15 against Surge map 2.
15. Yeah, that was, I mean, that guy, he looked different in that search. Trakes, honestly, to me, looked really good. I think I have faith, like, after seeing, like, him go from online to LAN, Trakes honestly impressed me a lot. I think he's improving. Maybe not as fast as they would like, but I do think he's improving. I think he's going to be a really, really good player for this team. Metals, I don't know. He's like he's kind of giving me Nero vibes a little bit, where he's like so up and so down. Whereas like before, I always felt like Metals was like just consistent across the board. He was always gonna do like he might have those crazy games here and there, but he was never gonna like really bottom out. I felt like, and I've seen more ups and downs out of Metals, which kind of scares me. Ryan and I were talking about a potential Real maybe getting dropped if they drop him. The real question is, can the Heretics like swallow their pride and like take him
I
back
know.
on? Because who knows if that bridge still exists? But Real back in the Spanish-speaking team, he fits perfectly. I would like to see it, especially since I think Real fits the pace of this team really well.
You're saying for
I don't
Tracer or
know.
Metals?
For
Who they
Metals.
drop?
I think they would drop Metals. Or I think they should drop Metals over
I just think it's
Trades.
interesting though, because they did have such good chem with that team last year. Like they were just so
Yes, they
good to
did.
end the year, and like they obviously didn't break through and get to a final or anything, but they were very like the closest we've seen any iteration of
They're
this Heretics
top
team with
teams.
Metals and Method Sick back in the day, and like Lucky and all these people that we all know.
Journey.
Sukri, he was on there for a little bit. Journey, yeah, all these guys we've seen kind of go through that team. That was the best iteration of it, was that team towards the tail end last year. And I agree, it's kind of if you're Miami, I don't know why they, like, a player being emotional, sure, but as an organization, I just don't know why they did what they did with the Real situation. Because again, I think it's really cool that Miami, they're a Spanish based org. Like they try to only pick up even if they're not, players from Spain, they try to at least pick up Spanish speaking players. I think it's a cool branding thing. Like, kind of stick a
Mhm.
little more to your roots. And like, obviously, there's a majority of the potential Call of Duty pros speak English. It's the most commonly
Yeah.
spoken language of people that make the pro league. Like, there aren't a ton of Spanish speaking players who are like making the pro league, very often. So it's like, to potentially alienate one of those players who's one of the best Spanish speaking players in Real is just such a weird decision if they want to continue, forward with that project of only picking up Spanish speaking players. Like, it's so weird to just alienate him and burn that bridge. And who knows, like maybe he would sign back on this team if they can sort things out. But like the fact that it's a question is just so dumb for the side of Miami, because like you want to make this project of only picking up Spanish speaking players, but then you're going to alienate one of those players, and there aren't a ton to pick
Well,
from that are like on the pro level right now. Because obviously, like COD is just bigger, and
yeah.
just the United States, Canada, and really the UK is like the three biggest regions. Um, so yeah, I don't know. It's just weird. Brad and I were talking about that though, as the GM of the Kennys, and he's GM of the Heretics. I proposed the idea of I need to somehow get in the ears of Toronto get them to drop Real, move Kleenex to a sub, pick up Kenny, put him on the flex so I can cheer for them. And then Real gets dropped into free agency, and the Heretics can take him back for whoever Brad wants, Trakes or Metals. That's the proposal.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go manipulate the league to make it happen.
It'd be
Because
the best team Miami's had.
yeah. Also, what Brad said, Rencor, he's definitely up there in the discussion for best AR in the world. I think maybe he didn't have as good of an online split, but he did it when it mattered. You got to throw Sib's hat in the ring. He was unreal, especially in
Yeah,
finals.
he looked good.
In
Still be shooting
finals, yeah,
damage.
he was unreal. Obviously, Mercules is up there again. He's been just amazing all year. Abuza is a pretty good shout.
Nope.
He didn't have a great
He
online
is.
split, but again, Draza had a very good tournament. Again, I'm not saying he's the best AR. I don't think he's in the conversation, but Draza had a really good tournament from the AR. Obviously, Ghosty. He tailed off a little bit towards the end of the stage, but in the beginning, and he again had a good tournament. He's a champion in the tournament, but Rencor definitely up there in the conversation. He's a player I feel like if you are Miami, it's another reason I think if Real does become available, you have to swallow your pride and do it, because I don't know how you guys feel. I think there's about a 0.01% chance Rencor is on Heretics next year, because he is going to get a deal to play on one of the top teams.
Yeah.
He's not
Nah,
going
he
to limit
loyal.
himself. He's not going to limit himself to
If
a
I
team
was him,
a team that doesn't
go
pay
to
as
a
much.
good team.
And he can his player pool is so limited that he can play with if he stays in this team. You know what I mean?
It's a valid
Like,
point.
I love the project of like picking up a Spanish speaking team. I love it. I hope they continue to always do it as long as there's enough players they can pick up. I love it. I love that they do it, like genuinely, but it's just like as a player, if you're Rencor and you're like a superstar caliber player, like you're just limiting yourself on who you can team with if you're on this team. Because more than half the league doesn't speak Spanish. So you're limiting yourself. So a player like Rencor, like let's say Thieves continue to bottom out, Scrap and Hydra want to go elsewhere. Thieves still has a BZ under contract, and Simps a free agent. He wants to go play with the BZ again. Rencor gets the offer. Like you're telling me Rencor is going to stay on Heretics instead of going to play with like Simp or a BZ, or I don't know. Dashy retires. Scrap's already signed. OpTic comes knocking. Hecz is like, hey, come be my flex. Like Renkor's leaving for multiple teams. FaZe bottoms out, but they like the Abuza Simp pairing. They want a new sub and they want a flex to replace Draza. Like they come knocking, hey, come play with Abuza and Simp Rencor. Like he's going there. Like, but if you're
He wouldn't
Miami,
want to play with Abuza.
if you're Miami, you got to go all in for this team this year because Rencor is probably the best player if you stick with this project you're ever gonna have.
Yep.
Like he probably is the best player you're ever gonna have.
Yeah. Honestly, if Miami can't get Real back somehow,
yeah.
Chago gets Snoopy.
Our talk of as the GM of the Kennys and Brad, the GM of the Miami, that transitioned us into our other top 6 team, LAT. I'm just completely lost on this team. They looked amazing in their first match, and it was like they're back, and then they just like forgot how to play together in their next 2 matches. Like it was very confusing to watch. The whole team fried in their first match, and again, like obviously we know Carolina ends up kind of bottoming out, but like coming into the tournament, like Carolina looked very good, and like the way Thieves stomped them, kind of crushed all the momentum they had. It was like, okay, like Thieves are here to play. I thought we were about to be in for a really good tournament. They get 3-0 by Gentlemates, and I'm not gonna lie, even after that match, I was kind of like, they'll bounce back. Gentlemates are just really good, and they have their number. And it did not happen. They did not bounce back.
I thought they would do that.
They did not bounce back. They got 3-0 by FaZe as well. And I'm just completely lost because again, like you look at the team, like you can see the numbers on the screen. Like Kenny had a bad event. He had a good first series, a bad last couple series. Abizi, again, not a typical Abizi event. Like he was fine, but nothing crazy. Scrap, talk about Selim having his low. I mean, 1.02 has got to be the lowest for Scrap in his career, maybe.
Yeah, he's usually like with selling 1.1,
Yeah, 1.1
1.15s around there. Yeah.
Hydra had an overall okay event numbers wise, but again, doesn't seem like himself. Like Kenny was not good this weekend, but I think this team overall they don't look good together. Like they don't seem like they mesh well right now, which is just so weird. Again, like Abizi and Hydra do not mesh right now. They could, they do not mesh right now. Like you can tell Abizi's a player who just played with a different sub for the last 6 years.
Yeah.
And he's getting used to playing with a new one. Like they just like again, Kenny hasn't been good. I think the whole team is underperforming, and they don't look good together. Like they're just, I'm completely lost in this team because these are 4 players that are all great players, and they right now they just don't play well together. I don't know what it is. They're a puzzling team.
They don't look good. They need more time to figure it out, but I think a change might be coming.
Do you think we'll talk about this a little bit in the last segment, but I don't think that Neum is like he's going to come in and make this team really good. They have way more issues than one player.
Yeah, I don't think they need more kills on the map.
Yeah, I don't. Again, I'm not saying like if they keep Kenny, everything's gonna get fixed, but I don't really think that Neum, like you said, like talent isn't the issue here. Certainly not talent.
Yeah.
Like there's plenty of talent on this roster. There's just like I don't know, something just like doesn't mesh. And again, like I love Kenny, but like he's obviously gonna be the person that's dropped. He's been the person underperforming the most. And like Hydra and Abizi, like you're not dropping Hydra, you're not dropping Scrap. Even though Abizi doesn't seem to be playing as well on this team, he's Abizi. You're not dropping him. Like,
can't really drop him.
And I don't think a one-person change with the players available really changes much. So, like, I don't even know who to pick up. I don't even think they should do this, but Brock's gonna just start like dying when I say this. But like, is it just weird that like Tyler Fellow feels like a good pickup for this team? Like somebody that will just soak the hill and like give you amazing comms like Kenny, and like hopefully he can like shoot and give you a 0.9. Like I don't think they're gonna do that, or they should. But like, is it weird that that's the point I'm at? Is like the classic Tyler Fellow pickup? Like, give me a guy that just can soak the hill. Like they just don't have an objective player in this team either.
Yeah, that is not a bad shout.
I don't actually think they should do it or will do it, but I'm just like, nobody on this team plays the hill or plays objective. Like they lost Dan and Envoy, who that's what they were doing for them.
Like someone's gonna need to give up some of that and to go be an OBJ player for the team if they want to win.
Like, I think we saw BZ do it a little bit more, be a little bit more of an OBJ player this tournament at least.
And they're just lost, and I don't know. Like in this, like you look at the numbers, and I have them up over here against like the series against Gentlemates. Like damage wise, like I know Kenny had a rough series, but he had more damage than Hydra in the series against Gentlemates. Like
that's not what you're gonna want.
Yeah, he had more damage than Hydra in that series against Gentlemates. In the series against FaZe, like he had 100 less than 100. He had like 70 less damage. Not even that. He had 50 less damage than a BZ. Like, so damage wise, he's right there with him. It just he's not finishing the kills, and the team is just off. And like, I don't know, man. Like, it just they just lost. Like, they lost as a team. The change is probably coming. Like,
I just think they need more time together, more practice.
I agree, but it's not going to happen. Like, I think they're going to drop him and just go into a limbo.
Yeah.
I actually, you know what I do think is going to happen is the Hydra, Scrap, and Abizi are just such good players. Like, that, like, at some point, this team is going to figure it out, whether they have Kenny as a fourth and Neum, whoever they pick up as a fourth. And
whoever.
They're just going to be like, oh my God, Kenny was the problem. And it's like, well, I do feel like if this team stuck all year, they'd be fine by the end of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
It is a weird situation right now from what we first thought of this team when they formed.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm assuming they're going to drop Kenny. It's kind of the reports, nothing official, but it's kind of the reports, and I don't know. I saw the report that he's like, he doesn't want to play in Challengers, which I don't blame him, but
yeah.
I hope he doesn't retire.
Don't do it.
That'll make me sad. Our fourth place team, Minnesota Rocker, or G2. I'll always call them the Rocker. Where are they? They're so weird in this list. It's G2 Minnesota. I don't know how you can say anything but a nice weekend from them. I mean, top 4 finish from them is probably overperforming from what we all thought. We all kind of agreed they were the one team in winners that we didn't think could win the tournament, and they get a 4th place finish. Honestly, this is going to sound weird. The standout players to me for them this weekend were Skies and Estriel, because I thought Skies had a much better event than I expected. I thought he played really well. And I thought Estriel had some really nice maps. And overall, like, Minnesota, especially the bounce back after getting, or sorry, not the bounce back, the 3-0 with FaZe and then getting beat 3-0 against OpTic, like the bounce back to still keep composure, 3-0 Heretics, and then have a very good chance to beat Minnesota, and they don't. That was the map where they trolled map 5, right? Or no, they got 6-0 map 5.
They got ran down.
Yeah, they got ran map 5. But I don't know how you could say anything other than a solid performance. Skies, he just had that minute or that last Vegas series where he had a really rough one. Like his numbers, if you take apart his -26, he finished this the event -9 overall, but he was -26 in that final series against FaZe. So he had like a 1.05 plus going into that final match against FaZe where he really struggled. But I have nothing else to say about Minnesota besides a really good weekend, and I'm hoping to see them build off it. They're very good this weekend.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I like Mamba.
That guy's a star. He's gonna be a star in this league for a long time. He's really good, and he's got aura. Everybody's already cheering for him. Like
he's a good player. I like him.
Like when that starts to happen, like it'll just snowball from here. Mamba has a bright future ahead of him. Hopefully he keeps it up. I looked at so before they got the 2-3 with FaZe, Skies had a 1.11 through 3 matches.
Yeah, I mean, he was having
a hell of a tournament out of Skies.
He's had a really bad last match, which is unfortunate for him.
Yes.
Yeah. Our next team, 3rd place, probably should have been in the finals. They blow a 5-2 map 5 lead in the losers finals. The Vegas FaZe.
That was insane match.
You can see on the screen
a really
too.
Good match.
Yeah, it was an insane match. You can see on the screen too, like 04 struggled this event. I know 0.9 for him and his role isn't the worst, but he had a lot of maps where it was like, man, he's got to pick it up. And he did come around a little bit more as the tournament went on, and they made their losers run. But Simp and Draza were awesome. Abuza was awesome. Like, I think this is a team that, like, if they get just a little bit more consistency out of 04, like, they're going to look really good. And they were a complete Game 5 scam away from being in the finals, and who knows what happens. Like, they completely threw away that Game 5. Neptune 1v3s them, aces them, like, clutches everything against them. And they blow a 5-2 lead. Like, I'm excited to see this team. I think that I don't know that they're going to get another, like, event like this from Draza. I think Draza played about as good as he could possibly play. I can't imagine him playing better than he did. I think Abuza and Simp can keep this up. I think Draza can still play at a high level. I just don't know if he's going to hit this peak because he was unbelievable this weekend. But I do think if 04 picks it up, this team is going to be in contention pretty much every Sunday. Because Simp is unbelievably good at this game, too. Simp is so good at this game.
Yeah, Abuza's so good, too.
Yeah, Abuza's really good. Our 2nd place team, the OpTic Texas, again, we just talked about FaZe trolled against Gentlemates. This team, if they don't blow a 5-2 lead in map 2 on raid, probably looking at a tournament win for them. Obviously, you never know with the momentum with it being 1-1 if other maps change, but in theory, technically, they close with that map, they would have won the series 4-2 potentially. shottzyy and Mercules show both with a 1.14 on the weekend. It's so funny that they were 2nd place and like they have so many less kills than a lot of these other teams we've been looking at just because they played so little maps.
The winners.
Yeah, they played minimum amount of maps to go to finals. They 3-0'd 3 straight people to get to finals. Dashy and huke, 0.99, 0.97, obviously like a little bit lower than we expect out of Dashy, but I would say overall, obviously like OpTic, it's a winner bust mentality, but like they lose 3 search and destroys in the final. They lost all 3 S&Ds that are in the final out of the 7 maps, and they lost the map 1 hardpoint. Obviously, they win both overloads as well as the map 4 hardpoint to lose 4-3. Sib just cooked him in that series. Merc had a good series. shottzyy had a good series. huke really struggled in the final. Dashy not his best series, but I think overall you have to say, like, obviously you're not satisfied if you're OpTic, like you want to win every tournament, but from where they were coming into the tournament, this was a good performance. They got back on track. Land fixed them.
Yeah. Agreed. So they'll be just fine.
Yeah, they looked the part of like one of the best teams in the game again.
Yeah. I'd like to say I apologize to OpTic. I had some doubts coming in. I was starting to get a little worried but I shouldn't have because it is LAN. You guys are apparently built different on LAN, so I want to apologize. I want to acknowledge that I was wrong. But yeah, Mercury's he's insane. Dashy, he dropped a donut in deaths. What was that was the winners final though, not the grand finals. And I think this is my first ever map 7 that I've seen on a Sunday. Am I wrong with that?
It depends because they do so many they randomly switch it to 9 maps, and that one series no, because it went game 7 in that Thieves. It went game 7 round 11, or was that game 9? It went last year. FaZe Thieves first major of the year.
Oh,
Oh,
that one
yeah,
game. That one last map.
I don't know if it was
Not
9
sure.
or 7. I think it was 7. It was either 9 or 7. It went last map round 11. Because then Hydra
Yeah.
tried to hit like the lower vent on Skyline and died down there, and yeah, it was Thieves lost at around 11. I will say my one call for OpTic, I need to see more out of huke. Just not a great series from huke in the final. Hit a .97 overall, and again, it wasn't a terrible weekend from huke or anything, but need to just see more out of him. I feel like if huke had a little bit more of a normal huke series, they probably close that out. And that raid, he got so unlucky timing on that raid, round 11. He was like over by like the mid steps, by like the waterside bomb, and he was like down by the mid steps, like kind of looking towards like wheelbarrow heady and like the money area. And I don't know, like from his arrow, I'd like to see it from his POV, but like from his arrow, he's looking, and it looked like he was like shouldering it, and Envoy, I think it was, like runs through, gets a crazy timing. Huke somehow doesn't see him, and because of that, Envoy's able to pinch through mid for free, get a kill, and like it kind of disrupts the round. If Huke just gets a slightly better timing, he just shoots Envoy in the side of the back, kills him. They have 4-3 numbers with bomb planted. Like they probably win that map and probably win the series. But just want to see a little more out of Huke because I do think this OpTic team is very close. And you know, they're still a very good team. And also that round 10 in game 7, they completely threw away that round. They were down 5-2. They rattle off 2 straight rounds and they had that round 1. But I don't forget who the 2 players were. It was Merc. It was either Merc, shottzyy, huke. It was 2 of those 3. They like both hopped up on that P5 hop up on Scar.
Yeah.
And they got 2-pieced by whoever that was. They got 2-pieced. Then Dashy was left in the 1v1. Could find Ghosty. That was I hated that round. It was so anticlimactic. Like it looked like we were, oh my god, we're getting game 7 round 11, like what you all hope for, and then they get 2-pieced.
They couldn't find each other.
Lose the round. He couldn't find them, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm pissed. Ghosty, you should have thrown that round so we could see round 11. Because the round 11, there's nothing better than round 11 in a series clinching game, especially a finals. Like, there's just nothing better. Everybody's nervous. Somebody's bound to break or make a crazy play or choke or like it's just the best.
Yeah.
And then obviously you guys see it on the screen. Gentlemates are champions. Neptune gets his first event win. He was unreal all weekend.
He did it.
I tweeted it, but I think you can make a pretty good argument. Right now, he's the best player in the game. He's the best player in BO7. Make a pretty good argument. I mean, just as a sub, his impact in the game, all of his cheese spots he was doing all weekend, I love it.
All the nerd spots.
Yeah. Envoy, just a classic 0.95 for Envoy doing all the dirty work. Just a classic Envoy tournament. Ghosty a little bit below what you think. Basically at a 1.0, but an overall good tournament. And Sib, obviously, another storyline. Sib, Neptune. Make an argument they're both the best at their position in the game right now. And what a series from Gentlemates. They're probably the favorite coming into the tournament, and they get it done.
They do get it done.
All right.
Great series.
Yeah, great series. Great tournament overall. Like the phase run from losers, all the way from losers 1 to probably should have made the finals. And then it's crazy because like Gentlemates probably shouldn't have made the finals if it wasn't for a Neptune absolute hard carry in the losers finals game 5 to drag them there. Like they looked like they were dead. FaZe had 5 round wins and they had a 3v1 against Neptune. And he clutches it. And then he aces with a 1v2 in the next round. Like he was dragging them.
He shouldn't have won those, but he did.
Like Gentlemates should have gotten 3rd in this tournament, but Neptune literally said, no, we are not getting 3rd. And he dragged them into the finals. Like,
he didn't want the curse to carry over to a new title.
Yeah. I like that's the way that he won it. Was like he didn't win it like, oh yeah, he had an okay tournament. Like he won it like dragging them to the win, like directly impacting his team's win like crazy. So I like that. It was a good first win. I'm glad to see him get it because he since he got picked up last year on Surge, he's just been unbelievable. Like He seems like he never has bad series. Really, he's been
He's so
unbelievable.
good.
He's really good. I mean, if Kenny's retiring, I got to get my eyes on a new player to follow. And Neptune's high on the list right now. I got to evaluate. I'll be like LeBron. I'm gonna make my decision. I'm never coming to Rancor. I love Rancor, but I'm never coming to the Miami side.
That's okay. You can just cheer for a player.
If Kenny retires, I gotta LeBron make my decision. I'm taking my talents to Boston Breach. Not.
Holy.
Okay.
Purges the truth.
Scared me for a second.
I would never do that. Maybe the Falcons. Maybe I'll become a Falcons fan because they're bound to just have a god roster at some point with all their money.
That is so true.
Actually, it'll probably be G2. I've always kind of like rock around and off because they're the closest team to us.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Bandwagon.
Yeah, that would be the team to bandwagon. So you guys can see on the screen, we're going to talk rank play after this, but quickly we're going to go over this. See on the screen, we've got a tier list with all the teams. Categories, you got 100% changing, leaning towards yes, truly have no idea, leaning towards no, and no way they're changing. They're not changing at all. And this is not based on what we think, or what we think they should do. This is based on what we think they're going to do. So we'll talk about like if we think they should make a change quickly when we go over them, but this is purely so I don't want to see when we have like Vancouver and they're not changing. I don't want to see anybody saying, "Oh my god, like you guys don't think Vancouver is going to change? Like why would they not change?" I think all of us think they should change, but this is truly strictly based on if we actually think they're going to. That's all this is based on. So our first team up is Carolina, and we're going to go with majority. I think they're pretty strongly in the no way they're changing basket.
Yep, I fully agree with that.
I think they could evaluate, like, is our Nero and Exceed the best ARs to move forward with, like, just because we saw the land performance. But again, I also think, like, this team wouldn't have ever dropped Slasher if he didn't retire because I don't think they want to spend any money. So again, I just don't think this team's changing. And I don't think they should. Like, they had a good online performance. Let's see what they can do. Give them another split.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Agreed.
Next up, Brad, Miami Heretics. Where do you think they are in terms of making a change? Not what you think, what you actually think they're going to do.
Right. So I think that the only way that they even like consider making a roster move is if Real is a free agent and Rancor kind of gets in the ear. I think that's the only way that they make a roster change. So like, do you think that fits under like the no way or like maybe? Like maybe but leaning towards no. Because I don't think they will unless like Real comes up. But even then that's like a big like if and might maybe not happen.
I think they're in the no way they're changing because I think the dominoes that have to fall for them to change are like I think like Snoopy would have to become available, which I don't think is happening, or I think Real would have to become available, which I don't think is happening, or there would have to be a challengers player that I'm just not aware of. That would have to be like a player that they can A, get, and B, does he need a visa if he's in the EU right now? Like, or is he in, North America? He's in the US where he may not need a visa. That's kind of what it comes down to. So
yeah,
I think they're in no way. I guess we could say leaning towards no, but I think it's much more of a leaning. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's, I don't think there's any way they're changing unless Real becomes available, which, again, I don't think is impossible because he did have a bad series. And I think they're going to do something like a role change or something like that. But I want to put them in no way they're changing because I just think like it's like a 1% chance.
Okay. No, I agree. I think it's a very low chance.
Yeah. It's kind of funny. We're like on a run. Next is G2. I don't think there's no way they're changing. They heated up at the end of the online split by winning a bunch, or not a bunch, but a few matches in a row, and they had a great tournament. Just had a bad series against FaZe. And also, like, oh my god, this is what I hate about the CDL format is I saw the entire COD community on Twitter was like, oh my god, drop Skies after he had that bad match against FaZe. And I'm just like, of all the times you could say to drop Skies, like you could make arguments sometimes in online when he was like struggling a little bit, but like he had an awesome tournament and had one bad series against FaZe. And like he's a leader for these young players in this team. And I just don't, we judge things like people want to just drop somebody off one series way too much nowadays. Like,
yeah.
Skies is finally back on a team, that has some talent on it, and they seem to be developing well. Like, they started slow. They're obviously making progress. They look good. Skies had a really good event apart from one series. Like, I don't know why on earth, like, what benefit would you get from dropping him unless there's a superstar for some reason Scraps is available for you? Like, why are you dropping Skies? Like, there's no way this team's changing. They're solid. You'd like to see them improve. If they have a really bad split, sure, we can evaluate. But right now, why? Like, why? Like, they're improving. Don't mess with that.
Yeah.
Are you guys in agreement? No way they're changing.
No way.
Yeah, I agree.
Next team is the Gentlemates, obviously.
No
No way
Yes,
they're
I
changing
think
change
there.
it
they're
up.
gonna change.
Blow it up.
No
Yeah.
way.
Imagine you had to blow up a team after you win a major. Imagine.
I
Just
mean,
start all over.
NYSL. Remember when they did that? They just blew up the team and got rid of Priest after they won champs.
Yep.
That would be a crazy thing in the CDL though. If you win a tournament, your whole team becomes free agents, and you have to restart. And they're just available for everyone.
No wonder why FaZe was against second place in Vanguard all those
Yeah.
times.
They're just winning. They're just farming second place cash, and they guarantee they get it every event.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Next team, Toronto Koi. I think this is the first one that's not no way they're changing. I don't think they're changing, but I would put them in leaning towards no, because I do think there's a world where Joe was very frustrated after that match. Kleenex is very frustrated with his role. And again, if there's a power struggle in that camp to potentially want to make a roster change, if Joe and Kleenex are frustrated, those two are your guys. I know Insight's been in Toronto forever, and they love him, and I'm sure he has some pull because he's been in the camp forever. But like, I think when it comes down to it, like Kleenex and Joe have the pull in that camp. Like, if they want a roster move to happen, Toronto's a team that's willing, to go for it. Like, I think a roster move could happen. I don't think it does, so that's why I'd say leaning towards no. But I don't think this one's a no way. Do you guys agree?
Yeah.
I don't think it's a no way. Next team, Falcons. I think it's a no way. Personally, I just don't think they're gonna make a move.
I really doubt it.
Selling
I doubt it as well.
Selling and Pred not getting dropped. I think Kismet's been overall solid. I don't think they want to drop him. And I don't think they really want to drop Exton at all. I don't think this team is changing. No way.
Yep, agree.
Cloud9. Should they? Yeah. I'm
They
going to
should.
say, I think Cloud9 is one of those teams that's willing to make a change. So I'm going to go, this might be bold, but I'm going to say they're 100% changing. I think Cloud9, because they just got into the league last year, like, and they're historically in esports. Like, they weren't blindsided like some of these non-esports people coming in being like, wait, we're not making millions? Like, Cloud9's been in esports forever. They know, they know what the deal is with esports. They know how these contracts work. Like, they've been in a bunch of different esports. Like, they know how it works. I think they're 100% making a change. I think they're going to do it. Again, I think we all think they should make a change. It's a matter of, like, will they? Like, I think they're going to do it. I don't know what you guys think.
I think for me, I'm not that confident that they're going to make a change. I think it's like the tier below 100%. Just because.
You're leaning towards yes?
Yes. Yeah, leaning towards yes. Just because, like, should they make a move? Yes. I think everybody in the community would agree with that. I don't know enough about. Because they did patch up together a roster full of veterans. So that, like, doesn't make me confident that they're going to be able to go out. That they didn't go out in the first place and get some star power, because there were some great free agents out there. Mind you, did they want to come to C9? Maybe not.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That does worry me a little bit as far as like maybe they are a little bit more weary about spending money.
I don't think last year they necessarily, like, I think this year, yeah. I just maybe think that, like, with the free agents that were available, they got outbid by the likes of Thieves, the likes of, Falcons, obviously.
Yeah.
The likes of FaZe, those kind of teams, Ultra, or Koi. Like, I think they maybe got outbid by those teams. Gentlemates, obviously, they have some money too. And I think they just got outbid. And also, like, a lot of those teams, if you look at it, like, Gentlemates was able to secure Neptune pretty early, so they had, like, that attractive, spot. Obviously, like, Falcons was able to, they already had Pred, and they were able to secure Cellium, so they have, an attractive spot there. Koi already had Joe Deceives, Kleenex, and potentially Insight. He was kind of up in the air at the time, but, like, they have a lot of players, and Cloud9's like, hey, we're a blank roster.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just don't think that with their history in esports, and they've always been a pretty good organization. I just don't think that I don't think they joined the league last year to just like not sign any talent ever. Like I think it's more of a they maybe weren't willing to spend the top dollar that the other teams were, and they just didn't have any players that were attractive. So they're just kind of in a rebuilding phase. I think they're willing to go get talent if it's there. Kind of my thought. I could be wrong though. Brock, you're the final vote. Leaning towards yes or 100% changing.
Leaning towards yes.
All right, I'll move it down. I think they're going to change.
But I'm not sure who they would really pick up besides like from challenges.
I mean, I think if I'm saying what I think they should do, the whole team should be dropped or just keep Mac. Maybe keep Mac and
Go get
Beans,
Renegade.
maybe. Sure, Renegade's great. I just don't know that he would want to join that team. Maybe he just wants to keep learning at challenges for a bit as opposed to going to a team that has no structure, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
FaZe, no way they're changing.
Nope.
LAT, I think they're in a leaning towards yes, in my opinion. Because again, I think they're changing. I don't think it's like obviously like the reports are like it's almost a done deal. Like Niam's probably gonna go there, but I could see a world where they kind of like sit down, hash it out, and they're like, let's give it a little more time. Like we just need time to mesh. None of us are playing well, so I don't think it's like 100%. I will put them in leaning towards yes.
Yeah, that's what I think as
Yeah.
well. I don't think like they're 100% sold on the change, and I also think that like Nadeshot's smart. He knows the scene. I think like if Kenny and the team were to sit down and be like, we're close, we just need a little bit more time to mesh. I think Nadeshot is like the perfect guy to like say like, hey, yeah, I'll give you time. Just like eventually he'll be like, we gotta win now. But like I think he knows enough about the game where, especially now, you don't have as much time to mesh, and maybe they just need more time. So yeah, I'm with you. I think leaning towards yes. I don't think it's 100% yet.
Yeah, I think it's more likely than not, but I don't think it's 100% yet.
I agree. I just don't see a world where those three players are like, yeah, Niam's the answer. Let's get him in here.
Yeah, like I think
Right.
they're
Already.
I mean I think it's 100% real. They're looking at making a change. They're looking at dropping Kenny. I just wonder, like I think there's a world where they're like, I don't know, because the reports was Niam had a bad scrim with Carolina, and like I think there's a world where they're looking at Niam and they've like, is he the answer? I don't know. Like again, I think Niam's a good player, but like you're talking to three like top tier pros, like they might see Niam and be like, can I really win with that guy? I'm not sure if he's the answer. And then they might look at the other options and be like, are those better than Kenny? And I could see them going back to Kenny. That's why I'm saying not 100%.
Mhm.
Like I could see that
And to
happening
me-
is they give it more time and be like, let's see who gets dropped after Major 2 potentially. Like
Right.
more things available.
And to me, like with this roster, I don't know about you guys, but it just feels weird to like throw a rookie into those three. Like, doesn't that just feel kind of weird?
Yeah, I mean, I think like Merc sets a different precedent. I mean, I'm not saying Niam is Merc by any means at all, but I think like because he was thrown in, like people have this expectations that rookies can just like come in now and save a team, which is Merc is probably an anomaly in that sense. Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
and I mean, I said it earlier. Again, I think that like Niam is a good enough player that like once a BZ and Hydra figure out how to play together and Scrap gets comfortable, like I think they could be a really good team with Niam. I think they could be a really good team with Kenny. Like I just think like they could come to a conclusion that maybe it isn't the best to give up on this team because like they're just not meshed at all, and the other options out there are like, are they really that much better? I don't know. Again, I'm not 100% sold on either way. I would lean towards yes because I do think they're gonna do it, but I don't think it's a done deal.
I have a question. So since Niam is the sub for 100 or LAT, right?
He is, but the wording that like everybody's reporting is they signed like a loan deal from Huntsmen, and they have to put him into the lineup, I think, within a week after Major 1, or he is like back to being just a free agent and like on Huntsman. So I think LA Thieves has to decide by, I don't know if it's a week after Sunday, so I don't know if like by this coming Sunday, whatever the date is, the 8th, by Super Bowl Sunday, I think they may have to make a decision. Niam's on the roster or Niam's not. If they say no, he's, back on Huntsman and available to sign with any team. If they say, yeah, he's on the roster, then they get to keep him. I'm sure they like get to sign him to a full contract for the year or something.
So since he is like kind of under contract, kind of sorta, like has he been able to scrim at all with them? Like have they been able to see how he fits in and all that stuff? Like
I doubt
obviously
it.
that would probably
It's
make the decision. You doubt it?
no way. It's Monday after the event. They're not even home, or they just got home.
No, but like beforehand, like
No,
because
no
he's
way.
been with them for a while. No,
No way. No way they're scrimming. They didn't. They signed him as like in case we keep playing poorly. No way they scrim with him. The only way that they would scrim with him
Gotcha.
if they were like determined like Kenny is gone. Like he's gone. We're not playing with him no
Yeah.
matter what.
Mhm.
Then they would have scrimmed with him. Like something like that. Kind of like
Gotcha.
Carolina. Like Slasher retired, so he was gone. So it was like, okay, we're trying out XC. We're trying out Neum. Kind of something like that. No, I don't think there's any way they scrim with him. Maybe this week because they're kind of like, yeah, Kenny might be out, but I don't know. Ooh.
Gotcha.
Let's do OpTic right away because they're in no way they're changing.
Not.
This is gonna look so bad because we're not gonna have nobody in 100% changing. I hate this because Vancouver, they should change for sure. I'm leaning towards yes because they've already
Some teams
made a
should.
change with TJ. But I also think it could be I truly have no idea what they're gonna do because I don't know anything about this org and what they want to do. But I'm gonna put them in leaning towards yes because they should make a change, and I think they probably will. I think it'll probably be Abe, even though I don't know that he deserves to get dropped. It might actually be a blessing for him to not have to
Could be.
keep playing on this team.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
I just, to me, it is hard to gauge. Like you said, I don't really know. Like they should, but to me, personally, I don't think they do make a change.
You're leaning towards no or 100% no way they're changing?
Leaning towards no. There's always a chance that someone can make a change.
What do you think, Brad?
I was thinking smack dab in the middle. I have no clue. Because like in my head,
That's got to go in the middle because we have one leaning towards yes, one leaning towards no, and one middle. It's got to go in the middle.
yeah. So I don't know. I don't think they do. I think that they give. I do think that they give Abel a little bit more time. I feel like but that's weird though, because like in my head, I would give them more time, at least a little bit before making a change, especially since you already made one. But then again, who knows like how fast they're hitting the panic button already, or who knows if they even have a panic button. I truly have no idea where they can go with it.
I will say, Pred said on stream today he knows for a fact at least 2 teams have already made a change. You guys keep dragging these damn answers down to middle and lean towards no. The last team up
Well, I
is
didn't know
Boston.
that.
The last team up is Boston. I would put them in a leaning towards no just because, again, I think Boston should make a change all day. And I don't know. I feel like Boston, they made a change this offseason. I heard they got like more investment into their camp. Like they may actually be potentially like more willing. So I'd even be willing to put them in like a have no idea. But dude, we got to move Cloud9 to 100% change it. We can't be cowards. They're changing, dude. There's no way they're not. They're Cloud9. They're invested. They're terrible. They're changing. If we don't put them up there, we have no teams at 100% changing. And we know that's just not true. We know teams are
Boston's
changing.
so changing.
I'm putting Boston out there then too, Brock. Fine.
Manic Bradley's making a main stage appearance for Boston.
He's coming. I mean, Pred said there's 2 teams he knows for sure have already dropped a player. Like there are at least 2 teams. Let's throw Boston and C9 out there. Probably could be LAT up there as well if we really wanted to. Like just for the bold play. But I think we got C9 to me seems like the most obvious because Surge I could see they made their one change. They're not doing anything. Boston, we know they probably don't really want to financially make a change. How could C9 not be? Like they made changes last year. They're an org that's been in esports forever. They're probably ashamed to be just losing everything. Like there's no way. There's no way. They're making a change.
They're all gone. The whole team's gone.
Could be the whole team. I don't think they will. I think they'll keep like they're gonna keep like Beans and Mac. Or I think they might keep Beans, Mac, and Afro and drop Vivid. I think they're gonna make at least one person change though.
They drop Beans and Vivid. No. Beans and no. Vivid and Afro. And they pick up Renegade and Neum once Neum passes waivers.
I just I don't know if those 2 go there. Like or Neum already turned out like the Carolina offer, and like I feel like this team has less talent than the Carolina team.
True. I do have
Yeah.
so like I was watching the watch party or whatever, and it sounds like Zinni kind of had. Does Zinni have like any power over where teams can go, or is that just Hecz blowing smoke?
What do you mean, like huntsman players?
Yeah, because I think Zinni's the GM technically, isn't
Well, yeah,
he?
but that's it's
Like, is that
it's very different than like actual traditional sports. Like OpTic and the huntsman are not going to hold a player back. If Cloud9 were to approach the huntsman and be like, we want to pick up Renegade, like OpTic's not going to be like, no. They're going to go to Renegade. They're going to talk about it and be like, hey, Cloud9's interested in you. This is the salary they want to pay you. Like, do you want to go there? And if Renegade's like, yeah, I want to go there, like OpTic will, whatever the buyout price is, they'll sell him to Cloud9. Like, they're not going to hold him back. They might advise them and be like, hey, like, you're barely into COD, and Cloud9 is potentially the worst team in the league, so this could be damaging. Like, they might have those conversations with him and like kind of see what he thinks. But like, no, there's no way that certain orgs may, like certain challenger orgs, if they get you on a good deal and like they have a buyout set, like they may hold you hostage because they're trying to make money. But like if like a Luca, he was on Omit, and like Omit, they're a good organization. Like they're not gonna hold the guy hostage in terms of like, oh, we want to sign him and he wants to go there, but you're gonna pay me $100,000 and you don't get him. Like they're not gonna hold somebody hostage like that. OpTic's not going to. You could see like maybe a small org get somebody on a have like a predatory contract and hold them hostage from going to another like CDL organization. But no, if somebody on Huntsman wants to go to an organization, like they will let them out.
Yeah.
Like Hecz is not gonna hold. If who is it? Kips. What's the player in their name? Rispy and Kips. If Rispy comes to him and has an offer and he wants to sign it, and Hecz isn't gonna be like, nope, not letting you go. Like he's gonna let him go.
Yeah.
I think our last thing I want to talk about is ranked play.
I think so, yeah.
Yes. The good and the bad of it.
I mean, excited for it to come. Sad that it's coming in February and the game came out in November. It's kind of sad. We've been playing a lot of 8s with our friends to like
Been
warm
waiting.
up for it. Probably the most warmed up I've ever been for ranked play in terms of like actually having played 4v4 and like stuff like that, like more ready. Sometimes you just spawn a rank play and I'm like, oh god, I don't know the rotations on this map. And like you learn as you go, but like we know all the maps from watching and from playing. Like there's a couple things I'm really excited for. Obviously, like they have normal SR systems back. That's fun. They're claiming the anti-cheat is better. Again, I gotta see that to believe that.
Cronus and Zens apparently are detected now.
Yeah, apparently.
Allegedly.
Again, like we gotta believe it we gotta see it to believe it with the cheat for COD. I hope it's true. If it's true, that's great. I think that little like teaser they did was that before the finals on the CDL stream, talking about like the series ladders.
Yep.
That sounds very cool. If you guys didn't hear that, it's essentially like, let's say you're a diamond player. At the end of the rank season, you'll get placed into like, I don't know if it's like after the season's over and like in between that gap before they start the new season, if they have that, or if it'll be like in the last 5 days of the season, there's like a window that's specifically designed for it. But it was called like the rank series or something, and you'll get thrown into a ladder with other people that finished in your same rank. It's like if you were a diamond 1, you'll get thrown in a ladder of, I don't know, let's say it's 100 people that also finished in diamond 1. And I don't know if it's like a window where whoever gets the most SR wins, or if there's going to be like a tournament style play or what, but there's some kind of like series where you can compete to finish amongst the top players that were in your rank, which is really cool. I think that's kind of fun. Fun addition that they're adding new stuff. The community is I like get attacked when I talk about this. The community is very positive about the no 4-stack thing. I think it's a terrible change. I know I'm in the minority. I think it's an awful change.
Wait, that's a minority?
Well, yeah, because the loudest voices in the community, a lot of streamers and pro players are like, they need this because like otherwise when they're solo queuing on stream and they play a 4-stack, it's like impossible to win. But
in that way,
and I get it. There are a lot of games. I think like, isn't it in Val, Brock? I mean, obviously you can't 4-stack in Val. Yeah, you have to have 1, 2, 3, or 5, right? You can solo queue, dual queue, trio queue, or you have to have a 5-stack. Which obviously, if you guys aren't familiar with Val, 5 players per team.
Yep.
You just can't 4-stack. And I mean, that's, I think, just more so like solo players aren't getting thrown on a team of 4 people playing together in a Discord and they can't talk. I think that's more what that's designed for. But so I know it's a minority take, and I understand the argument for it. I think we all do. Like, the argument is like, yeah, you don't want people all like, you don't want to always be running into 4-stacks, and then there are people saying, oh, well, you can't divide the player base if you split up like a 4-stack playlist into a 2-stack playlist. Like you like, oh, here's a duo queue, here's a solo queue, and here's a 4-stack playlist, and like a 3-stack, you split up the player base. I disagree. Black Ops 2, hello. There was solo queue and team ladders, and if you're playing the team ladder, you only played against teams. So, and Black Ops 2 is one of the most popular rank plays we've ever had. So that just isn't true. And also it sucks for Brock and I. There's a decent chance like we're gonna hit Crim, and ranked play is meant to be played like they say, play like the pros. That's their slogan. Well, the pros play in 4-stacks on their teams, so
yeah,
I'm not cheating. None of my friends are cheating, and we just enjoy playing that's the fun. Like, we just enjoy playing the game in a 4-stack and playing. Like, it's just fun to play with your friends, play in a 4-stack, try to win games, try to go on streaks. It's fun. So like, and there's placement matches now. So like, what if Brock and I fry in our placement matches? We get played in Crim. I just can't play a single game with my friends.
yeah.
Like,
don't fault me
yeah,
for that.
like I just want to play games with my friends. So it's like, it's not that serious. We're not cheating. Like, I understand, oh, if you're a solo queue, you don't want to run into a 4-stack. Well, I don't want to play solo because I like playing with my friends. So why do you get to have what you want and I get punished for having what I want? You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make any sense. I'm gonna have to like go on my I play on PC. I'm gonna have to go on my Xbox and get 50 wins on a random account because if I hit Crim and I want a 4-stack, I gotta go on my other account. Like,
Yeah,
it's just, yeah, I don't like it at all because, again, like, I understand the argument, but like, dude, there are also some of us that just want to play with their friends. So make a
Yeah.
4-stack playlist where I can only play other people that are 4-stacked.
Yeah. Most times I'm just not gonna solo queue.
Yeah, I just like, I'm not a streamer. I'm not gonna sit there and stream for 8 hours a day solo queuing. You know what I mean? Like, I
Play
I
myself is
just
just not fun,
like I just
especially
want
rank
to.
play.
Yeah, I want to be like, okay, send a text to our group chat with all of our like friends that play ranked. Be like, we have Fortnite. Like, anybody want to play? And like, I want to be able to hop on with whatever 4 I want.
Yeah.
I just don't. I don't like the change at all. I don't think it's a good change. And I hate that it's such a hot take that you say you don't like the change. And like, people are like, oh well, it's only bots that don't like the change because they can't get to Crim without 4-stacking. And it's like, well, that's also not the case. Like, I'm pretty confident that
Yeah.
I could solo queue honestly better because sometimes we're playing with our friends that are probably only like gold or plat players. And then look at Brad's face. And then I'm getting like dragged down to not hitting where I want. And that's not even a dig at my friends. It's just a reality. Like, some people are gold or plat level players. Some people are iridescent top 250. Like, but either way, I just want to play with my friends. Like,
Yeah.
so I shouldn't be penalized for that. Like, and they're like, oh my god, well, these people can't get to Crim unless they 4-stack, so that's the only reason they don't like it. And it's like, nah, dude, it's not that serious. I just want to play with my friends. That's it. Like, because that's how I get enjoyment. Out of
Not
playing with
that
friends. Yeah.
serious.
So you got to be able to play 4-stack at all times. Like, I hope they said they're going to evaluate. I hope they make that change to like iridescent plus, because then you're really, really targeting. Like, I think they said like something like 1% of players hit iridescent. So then you're really in the top like 1% and of ranked play players, and like then you can start to make sense of it. But even then, like,
Yeah.
I feel like if I was a pro player, like, or like the retired pros, like, you get like apathy, slacked, like those guys that play ranked and always get towards the top. Like, there's like a parasite, apathy, slacked, and I don't know, just John. Thinking of a random pro's name. Like, if those 4 are playing, and then you got like Slasher, Attach, Zuma, and I don't know, Scump are queuing. Like, I think it'd be really fun if those 4 were able to queue and they're in top 250 and they're able to play like another team of pros. Like, those matches would be fun for them. Like, I don't know why they hate on it so much.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Like, I wonder what like a Scump thinks of that because every single time I watch him play ranked, he's always 4-stacking.
I know. I just I get the theory behind it. Again, I'm not like saying like I don't understand why. I know why they want it. I just like I don't know why we're limiting how I can play the game for my enjoyment. I'm supposed to play like the pros. Well, then the pros don't just spawn onto the stage with random teammates. Like, they have their 4. I don't know. It's just dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you're going to do that, you know what? If you're going to limit how I can play in regular queue, make a playlist that's like those gunfight tournaments they had. Remember they had those in, I don't know when the last game they had them in, but they had those like
Yeah.
gunfight tournaments
Cold
where you
War.
could like, yeah, was that the last game they had it in?
Mm-hmm.
You could like, if Brock and I or Brad and I wanted to go play, like you just enter into the queue, you get put in like a whatever it is, 16 person, 8 team bracket or something, and you just like play your matchup. If you win, you move on to the next round. They auto put you in a bracket and load you into the lobby. Like, do something like that. Make a 8 team single elimination tournament of 4v4 where you play best of 3s or something. Like something like that would be really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I miss those tourneys. Those
Yeah.
are always so much fun.
Well, I don't know. I'm just not a huge fan of it, but I'm either way. I'm very excited for rank play. I'm hoping I maybe I should throw my matches so I place in bronze so I can have more time play with my friends. I don't know.
Same. I'm gonna throw so hard in the matches.
Yeah, but
I'm going so hard.
Brad's gonna go. We're gonna throw in our matches, and Brad's gonna go so hard. We're gonna get placed in like plat, and Brad's gonna be in bronze, and he's gonna go so hard. Are you gonna be demoralized if Brock and I throw our placements and get like gold, and you get silver, and you try?
Yeah, I'm uninstalling.
Because I don't even know. Like, obviously, there's like hidden MMR where it's like you may be losing matches, but like they can tell that your skill level is higher than what you're in. So I wonder, even if we like throw our matches, are we just gonna like auto get placed in like plat or diamond right off the rip? I wonder. It's like the MMR in our account shows otherwise.
Yeah, hopefully.
Oh,
Not, but that might be the case.
yeah, we'll see what happens. Either way, I just hope I'm able to play with my friends for like the whole season.
Yeah.
But that's going to do it for this one. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. If you're on the audio platforms, drop a follow, drop a 5-star review. Not 100% sure what'll be coming up next week. There might be some random short form videos dropping this week because it's obviously Rostermania time. If some roster news does happen, I might hop on and make some short videos and stuff this week. Next week could be a player tier rankings. We sometimes like to do that after the majors. Kind of depends on how much movement there is amongst players. Don't like to do it right after because we want to talk about the matches and like if 10 players get dropped this week, like kind of a pointless list of ranking all the players that are now no longer in the league. So kind of wait till the dust settles and we'll see. Thank you guys so much for watching and we will see you in the next one.